Casting. During the early production stages, they were thinking of casting Bill Murray, Steve Martin, or Robin Williams as Jack Sparrow. Then, they considered Matthew McConaughey for the role because of his resemblance to Burt Lancaster. Other candidates included Christopher Walken, Rick Mayall, and Cary Elwes. The studio would pick one of them if they released the movie straight on DVD without taking it to the big screen. They also were thinking of giving the role to Michael Keaton and Jim Carrey. Robert De Niro was also offered to play Jack Sparrow, but he declined the offer as he didn't believe the project would be lucrative, just like the pirate movies released in those recent years. The screenwriter, Stuart Beattie, saw Hugh Jackman as the lead. They've known each other since high school they went to in Australia. Even his name, Jackman, had a similar ring to the name of Captain Jack Sparrow. However, when Disney execs decided to release the movie theatrically, they deemed Hugh not big enough of a star. They ended up casting Johnny Depp for the role, even though he wasn't considered a profitable actor back then. To Depp's advantage, he was enthusiastic about perfecting the character, especially since they didn't have the end version of the script at the time. During his first meeting with the director, Johnny shared a bunch of ideas, one of which was absolutely insane. He suggested that the pirate loses his nose in a sword fight and has it sewn back. But because of poor blood circulation, his main fear would be sneezing or snorting some pepper rather than death. Verbinski knew immediately that it would be impossible to bring that idea to life, but he still tried to come up with a way to promote it to the studio. Later on, Depp added a lot of iconic features to the character, which we'll tell you about a bit later. So let's go back to the casting process. The contenders of the main female role of Elizabeth Swann were Amanda Bynes, Jessica Alba, and Jamie Alexander. Keira Knightley, who ended up landing the role, nearly missed the audition because of heavy traffic. The actress was only 17 at the moment, and she doubted herself.
I can't breathe.
Yes, I'm a bit nervous myself.
Moreover, she was convinced she would be fired after several days on set, so she packed light. The studio was considering Jude Law, Ewan McGregor, Tobey Maguire, Christopher Masterson, and Christian Bale for the role of Will Turner. But Orlando Bloom and Heath Ledger were the main candidates. The director, Gore Verbinski, chose Bloom because he thought that it would be a smart financial move since the actor's name was everywhere thanks to his role in The Lord of the Rings. Jeffrey Rush, who was cast as Barbossa, also spoke in Orlando's favor as they had just co-starred in the Australian Western movie Ned Kelly. As for Rush, he got an offer personally from Gore Verbinski. He sent the actor a letter saying that he was his third choice for the project after Alec Guinness and Peter Sellers, and he couldn't get either of them on board. They thought about offering the role of Governor Swan to Sylvester McCoy and Tom Wilkinson for a moment, but it ended up going to Jonathan Pryce. Johnny Depp was over the moon because he's a huge fan of the actor. The musician Jimmy Buffett could play one of the pirates, but he had to turn down the offer due to his busy schedule. By the way, casting for Pirates extras and Sparrow's inmates was a quite curious process. It was hosted in the basement of the Disney studio, and they invited bikers and jobless actors. First, they were handed cold weapons, which were quickly replaced with rubber props because people started getting hurt. Eventually, they picked 10 people out of 600. Another fun casting fact, the cast consisted not only of people, but of animals as well. For instance, Jack's monkey was played by two primates, a female named Tara and a male named Levi. Both monkeys were difficult to work with, and the filming crew had to put up with them. The actors would often have to wait for the primates just to look in the right direction. But it didn't stop Tara and Levi from appearing in other film projects and touring across America together with a circus troupe. The parrot of the mute pirate was also played by two birds, Chip and Salsa. The former appeared in the scenes that required sitting still, while the latter did stunts. By the way, the actor and editor Christopher S. Capp voiced the parrot. The prison dog in The Curse of the Black Pearl was played by the terrier named Twister. One of the trainers took him after the filming finished. He had a long career working on cinema and TV projects and switched to commercials at the end of his acting career.